What's up, Bears fans? What's up? What's up? Game 2 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, let's get right to it and listen to it. We lost. All right, thanks for showing up. But come on, really. Hang around for a little bit. Because it wasn't that bad in my opinion. Now, yes, losses really sting at this point, especially since we were, promised that everything was going to be much better this year. And it seems like we're actually regressing in what we're doing. Everything from the play calling down to the players. It's just not looking good for us right now. But there's some optimism there that I think that we can build on. So let's get with it. Now, starting off in the first quarter, our defense got out on the field first. And the same old thing happened. They can't stop the run and poor tackling. Now, with Matt Eberflus calling the plays, I expected it, to be a little bit better. Maybe, not that much better, but a semblance of fundamental football. That's something that I've constantly talked about. Fundamental football. I mean, it works when you put it in practice. So maybe one day, Eberflus will just get back to fundamental football, because a lot of that talk about, the hits principle, just like what I talked about in the last video, still is not present. No turnovers again. Brisker almost had a turnover there in the first half, but it was not to be. Now, starting off the defense, they were getting after it a little bit. Looked fairly decent. Linebackers, first couple plays, looked out of sorts, kind of. I don't know if they're just trying to overcompensate in the run game, but it seems like on one play they were close to the line. Next play, they're back in their normal position. And I think they're just trying things out. And I think that's the one thing that is a constant theme from last week to this week. It seems like we're just trying things out. And most of us know during the preseason, not many of our starters got a lot of playing time. Now, it seems to be rearing its ugly head, the lack of reps that the offense and defensive guys missed out on during preseason. And hopefully next year, Coach Eberflus will start inserting players for longer periods of time in the preseason so they can get those reps, get their win, anything, to be prepared for next season. Because it seems like guys were getting winded kind of quick on that first drive that Tampa Bay had. Now, Baker Mayfield, he's a solid quarterback. I got to give it to him. Good guy. He can sling the ball, but he came into this game with a sore shoulder. It didn't really look like he had a sore shoulder to me, because he was putting the ball wherever he wanted, and it's always nice, I must say, to have a number one receiver like Mike Evans. Now, Mike Evans balled out on us today. Nothing we could do about it. This guy played a lot of football. He's got a Super Bowl ring, something we don't have since 1985. But something that, I think is coming. You guys are going to start calling me crazy, and I may just be just a little bit. But, I think we got something. And I'm going to try to, explain it a little bit more. Now, during Tampa's first drive, they didn't look all that great. They were a little out of sync as well, but the the one thing that really hurt our defense, and pretty much throughout the game, couldn't get off the field. Numerous times we should have had, Tampa Bay off the field. But once we go to that zone defense, and especially in the middle of the field, teams are just getting yards. It doesn't matter how many yards they're back. 3rd and 15, I believe Tampa had a 3rd and 23, and they converted. And as usual, not much pressure, and they were able to, get down the field. Now, once we got inside, the 20s, the red zone, defense stiffened up, and we held them to 3 points. Now, that's a win. Now, it was early, but a win is a win at this point, when you get out there in the field. So, decent play, a lot of little things, the sloppy tackling, guys not wrapping up. That is something that, with this hits principle, it should be happening. I mean, we have practice, you got preseason, you got training camp, you have all these things where you can work on your fundamentals. Now, yes, I said that, these guys, especially the starters, didn't get a lot of time because of injuries during training camp and such. So a lot of that can be blamed on that. The tackling issues, that is. Now, the offense. That first drive, I wondered who that team was and where we can get them. Somebody got a little extra juice over the week. So it was something to see that DJ Moore, 2 passes, 65 yards. 2 passes for 65 yards on the first drive. Then Justin Fields does a little scamper, 5 yards in for the touchdown. Bears are up 7-3. What's not to like? They look like world beaters, right? Blocking was decent up front. Running game was not very much used. So you can look past that when you got 2 passes at 65 yards and then you get a touchdown. Unfortunately, we played 4 quarters of football. So for the rest of the first quarter, it seemed like Luke Getsy just went back to last week. He went back to sleepwalking. Play calling was pretty horrible. My favorite word when describing our Chicago Bears this year. And I gotta tell you, his play calling needs to be more consistent. Why he loves the screen pass, I do not know. But he loves it. He wasn't even trying, after that first drive, he wasn't even trying to keep it going. It just seemed like he wanted to get cute. That's the best way I can put it, Bears fans. He wanted to be cute. Now, Dante Foreman was a healthy scratch today. So that left Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson. I like both guys. I prefer Roschon Johnson a little bit better because in one particular play in that first quarter, I remember Khalil Herbert stepping right in front of Justin, and he immediately got pushed back 2 yards. Now, by that time, of course, Justin had already released the ball and everything, but it's concerning that there's a defensive player getting past our O-line, getting to the running back, pass blocking, and he gets within a yard or 2 of our quarterback. That is not a good scenario for any offense. Any offense. And I know I sound like a broken record. Luke Getsy, our offensive coordinator, he promised a lot of different things. And, well, we haven't gotten it yet. So, moving on to the second quarter, it was more of the same. Luke Getsy experimenting. That's all I can say. Not much in the run game. It seems like he wanted to just pass the ball quite a bit, but you need to be able to run the football, especially in this game, because Tampa Bay, their defense, they get after it. They were coming through the line, 5 or 6 guys on the line. Then they fall back, or maybe they'll send one, depending on, the down. But there's got to be something that Luke gets. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about Justin Fields, slow release, not reading the defense, slow reaction, all that. And I get it. I see the plays just like you. But I don't believe that it's all Fields' fault. Now, I know there's a lot of Bears fans out there that are ready to get down to our third-string quarterback, Tyson Bagent. Slow your roll. Get off that horse, because it's probably not going to happen this early in the season. So let's just ride with it, gang, and see if we can get this offense to mature. Right? Maybe. We're going to find out. Now look, that second quarter wasn't all that bad. Both teams kind of sputtered here and there. Tampa, they're just like they're trying to feel out things as well. I mean, it's only the second game of the season, so a lot of us, the teams are just searching for that answer, what works, what isn't working, and trying to get consistency. Now, on the other hand, there's Luke Getsy. And this is a partial rant, but I don't think this guy is really prepared for NFL football. Now, in some of his play calls, like in the first quarter, we can run right down the field. No big deal. But then the cuteness comes in. He wants to do a screen pass. Then he wants to do a sweep. And that sweep lost us 3 yards. One of the screen passes got us 4 yards. I'm sorry. That's not really where it's at. Now I know, and Bears fans, yes, I know. We're supposed to be going here into the 21st century with this coaching staff and trying to make things good. But maybe, just maybe, we're more of a run-first team. Maybe we should try that, running the football. We got a fullback. We got 3 very good running backs. But it seems that, we're in love with the pass. And, I get it. Justin Fields, nice strong arm. Deep ball accuracy is pretty good. One of the things we talked about from last year. Hey, can Justin Fields hit the short to medium pass? Yes, he can. No doubt about it. Now, can he get better at it? Of course. But we brought in DJ Moore to be the number 1 receiver. And that number 1 receiver has to get down the field. We have to play vertical football. Plain and simple. Now, it wasn't a whole lot of offense in that first half, because if I remember correctly, and my mind's going, but 13-10 at halftime. So at the half, the only adjustment I could have seen being made was run the football more. Just as a recap, that first half, not a whole lot of offense, a little bit of movement in the beginning, but towards the end, we stalled quite a bit. We got the Cole Komet involved a little bit. I was happy about that. One thing about Cole Kmet that I wish he would work on, after you catch the ball at 260 pounds, run over somebody. Just run over somebody. Dude, you are 6'5" or 6'6", but you're 260 pounds. There's no way that you should be being brought down with a safety. A safety. There's no way. But consistently catch, hit, down, play over. Now, Kmet's got good hands, absolutely. He just needs to get the run after catch, yards after catch, all that. Hopefully, as the season progresses, that comes on, because we're going to need him. There's no real slacking in the schedule for us, so Cole Kmet's got to be a vital part of it, as well as Chase Claypool. Now, after last week, there was a lot of talk about that guy. Loafing, not blocking up to standard, all that. This week, what did he do? Tried to step up a little bit, but I think it's safe to say that blocking downfield is not his forte. One play in particular, he's blocking, and I don't know how, but he just ends up just falling down in front of the guy while holding him. He's holding him, and he's falling down. And I'm just like, what is that? Come on, Chase. You can do better than that. So hopefully he's going to get coached up a little bit more. In 1 week, he looked a little bit better. So we're going to see how that all works out. Also, I got to say, Cairo Santos hitting a 52-yard field goal. Hey, kudos to you, sir. At least we know we can kick a field goal when needed. All right. So let's get over here to the second half. Second half. So Bears get the ball first. What do? We try to run the football. I know I was excited. I said, okay, Khalil Herbert getting a couple runs, getting the legs going. So hopefully, maybe that was the halftime adjustment. Getsy feeling good, seeing things a particular way. Maybe he'll look into the run. But the one thing that hurt us real bad last week, hurt us again this week. Penalties. And I would like to say that it was someone new, but once again, Braxton Jones. False start. A very good run by Roschon Johnson and stalled us out. Not sure what's going on with him. Hopefully, it's something that could be corrected here soon, because we can't have Braxton continue to give penalties on drives where we're establishing the offense, and he creates a silly, penalty. Now, the one penalty, the false start, we can overlook it. You're playing on the road, the crowd noise is in it, so I get it. But on the very next play, Braxton gives up a sack. And yes, it was on Braxton and not Justin Fields. Now, I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, we need to start giving Braxton a little bit more help on his side. Running back chip, tight end chip, something. Because he's given up a couple of sacks so far this season. 2 games, at least 2 sacks. And that's not going to help. So I look to, the next game that he gets a little bit more help. And he just starts to protecting the blind side of Justin Fields a little bit better. Now, this second half was a continuation of bad offensive line play. But of note, Carter came in for Nate Davis, who was away for the team for this game. Played a good game. Didn't hear his name called at all. So kudos to him, the second-year guy. Appreciate your effort. Now, on the right side, Darnell Wright had a couple misplays, but for the most part, he held his own. Although there was a lot of pressure coming off of his side throughout that second half. And I think that's kind of where Justin Fields kind of lost it. The edge that he kind of had in the first half was missing that entire second half. Now, can they all do better? Absolutely. The offensive line has to get better. Partial way through the third quarter, Lucas Patrick went out, and they brought in Feeney, the new guy from Miami that we traded for. Unfortunately, his first snap sailed a little high towards Justin Fields, so Justin Fields had to take a hit while scrambling for the ball. Not a good way to start. Now, he did settle down, so that's a good thing, but all in all, the center position and the guard position, especially the left guard, is going to have to be looked at in next year's draft. Because Lucas Patrick, Cody Whitehair, I hate to say it, but they may be too old to play this game. And as a guy that's 53 years old, hearing that you can't do something, you might be a little too old for something, that ain't good. So it's not good for the psyche, right? But listen, I do believe that hopefully for the rest of this year, we look a little bit better along that offensive line, but who knows? We'll just have to wait and see, Bears fans. Now, the passing plays in that second half, not all that good. We did have some decent plays, especially when we were in a slight hurry up, when we were getting to the line, making the play, getting the calls in, snapping the ball. Hey, Justin Fields looked more comfortable in that. Now, he still has a little bit of hesitancy in throwing the ball. Something that has been talked about for the last 2 weeks, for the last year or so. Especially certain Bears fans always love to bring that up. So, it's warranted. Now, I'm an apologist for Justin Fields. I got to let you know. I think he's probably the best quarterback since Jay Cutler. Definitely got a strong arm like Cutler, but he had some of the bad decisions that Jay Cutler had as well. And he is definitely prone to throw the interception. So he did it once again, 2 interceptions in this game. One on an ill-advised play called a screen pass in the middle of the field. Not a good look in my opinion. Getsy for making that call. So, pick 6, 2 weeks in a row. Not good. I'm saying it. It's not good. But on the other hand, why can't we just run the football? And in this game, I can honestly say, for the first time probably in my life, the Chicago Bears are afraid to run the football. The line, remember, last year, we were the number 1 rushing offense last year. So why can't we repeat it? Not sure. We have the talent to run the football. Now, is it always going to be pretty? Nope. Is it always going to work? Absolutely not. But we have to have a more balanced offense. And that's what I would love to see next week against Kansas City. Although, our defense against Kansas City is probably going to get trashed. There's no other way to say it. Against Tampa Bay, they showed really who they are, even with Matt Eberflus calling the plays. Can't get off the field, giving up long plays, especially on third downs, and not getting any turnovers. And in this game, no sacks of Baker Mayfield. And that's really telling to me, because it's like our front four on that defensive line cannot get pressure. So what should that tell our head coach who called the plays this day? Well, maybe we should order up a couple blitzes. And he did. 2 blitzes, if I remember correctly. And those 2 blitzes got Mike Evans some pretty good passes. So the pressure didn't work. Now, I don't know what we're going to do going forward, because Patrick Mahomes, if you're not putting pressure on him, he is going to light us up on the defensive side. And one of the really bad things about all this, Jaquan Brisker and Eddie Jackson, our 2 starting safeties, left the game in the first half. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when you lose 2 starters on your defense and you try and maintain some sort of consistency, it's not gonna work. And again, against Kansas City next week, our defense is gonna get that work, plain and simple. I can't even sugarcoat it right now. Now, some Bears fans are gonna call for the firing of everybody. Just so you know, it's not gonna happen. Nobody's getting fired. No one's getting benched. Would it send a message if they did that? Absolutely. But at this early stage, I don't think it's going to matter. We need all of our starters to play, and we need them to play at a high level. So, hey, consistency and learning how to be balanced on offense and fundamental tackling. If we can get those things, I do believe we're going to be all right. Now, maturing offenses, maturing defenses takes time. Yes, I know I said last video, hey, we spent a lot of money. We got a lot of new faces, especially on the defensive side, but it just hasn't gelled just yet. Now, will it happen this year? I surely am hoping so. So I need all Bears fans to stick with me, because right now it's a lonely, lonely world. You know what they say, never read the comments, but I've been reading comments on a few sites, and let me tell you something. It feels like I'm on an island out here. Bears fans, this is not the worst that it's been. For you younger folks, we've had some bad times here. Some very bad times here. So don't get discouraged. You know, don't burn your jerseys just yet. The time will come, I'm sure, but now it's not the time. Now, as I said, next week we're going against Kansas City. Probably not going to win. We're going to be 0-3. Not a good look. But I'm asking and I'm imploring all Bears fans, hey, stick with it. Stick with this team, and let's hope together that they can get it together. All right? Let's just hope they can get it together. We got 15 more games to go, and then who knows what's going to happen. There can be some major changes happening at the end of this season, but for right now, let's stick together. Let's bear down, and let's just stay positive for as long as we can. I know right now it ain't looking good, 0-2, but stick with it there, Bears fans. I'm hoping, and I'm telling you, there should be some needed attitude changes, some needed changes in the players, hopefully. One of the things that I'm looking to see, hopefully, we got to get Dante Foreman in there, and we got to run that guy. Luke Getsy, run the football with Foreman. That's about it there, Bears fans. I ain't got nothing else for you because I know you got something else to do with your life. So with that, follow us, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, keep up with us. We here at Bears Media Company, we love you, we need you, and more importantly, our Chicago Bears needs us. So until the next time, Bears fans, peace.